Hello friends, and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Kathy. Thank you for joining me today. If you are new here, welcome to Whip It Wednesday. I am using the month of August to complete whips and UFOs. You will see a UFO right here behind me that I have completed, and this is another UFO turned whip. I am making this quilt right here. This is an Aria and Ava quilt pattern. Merry Christmas. This was in the Bella Rose Advent box last year. And I am on clue 2. I had started this and it was kind of scrappy, and I decided I didn't want scrappy, so here we are. I kind of had to start it over. But guys, thank you for taking time out of your day to come see what I have going on. So let's get sewing. I'm making sure I don't have to make sure I don't have any buttons pressed over here. So we are going to, I have narrow strips and wide strips of green and background. Let me show you there. This is, let me show you. I have my little 4 patches here. This is the green that's in the 4 patch. I am making the center of this next, well, it's not really the next block. I think it's clue 3 is where we actually make the block here. This is the block that I'm making. The center has the white and green. So I have this all ready to go. So we take a thin, and it said to cut 6 strips by fat quarter. Well, I had width of fabric, so that's how I'm doing it. And then we take a wide white, and I only needed 3 by fat quarter of the backgrounds, so I just cut one of my long strips in half. So let's get these. I'm trying to find the ends here and try to see which one am I starting as my end here. So we do a green, a white, and then a green. So I'm just going to bring you guys along with me here. And we are hoping to have another finish this month. We're going to try. I don't know if I'm going to or not. But that is always the goal, to try to get another finish. And I know I still have my Craftsman guides. I know. That was my first large quilt I ever completed, and I still don't have it bound. Because I'm going to be doing a faux flange binding on it, and I've never done that before, and it's going to require me to do some thinking on it. I'm going to I've watched several videos on it. For some reason, it's saying my bobbin is out, which I know my bobbin is not out. Maybe it's because the door is open. My bobbin could be caught also because I just cleaned my machine. I don't know why my machine must have done its own update, because I don't recall this machine doing what it's doing now. And I know I had an update come through, but I've never updated it. And I do believe my machine is hooked to Wi-Fi, because it's showing it like it's doing multiple stitches, and I don't like that. What is going on with this? I don't like this. My machine must have done its own update, guys, because, yeah, I don't like it either. Because it's very distracting as I'm sewing. Because it shows every stitch on the screen and it's getting my attention. And I don't like that. It's distracting. So I've got to get my strips straight here. So how are y'all doing? And I had somebody suggest Chit Chatty Kathy session or something like that. Yes, we always chit chat. That's what we do. We chit chat. I love taking suggestions for topics. If you want to provide a topic to talk about, I normally just come on here and talk about my day and what's going on in my life, and I love hearing what's going on in y'all's. We are having fabulous weather right now. It looks like we're going to be in the mid-70s, which is amazing. I love these kind of days because it's just getting cooler, and I really like the cooler weather. And it's just in time for us to... Oh, I forgot. We're going north this weekend, and it's supposed to be cooler the further north you get of us, because up north they're going to be like in 40-degree days or nights. I think maybe that's what it is. 40-degree nights. Oh, that would be great to have really cool temperatures like that. And we're going to be on the lake. Oh, it's going to be so fun. Even though we're just going for one night, go to a birthday party, and then we're going to sleep and then come back. That is the plan anyway. Things don't always go as planned when my sister and I get together. You know what I mean? We all the time find things to do that we want to do. So, okay, so I'm going to just flip this over. So this is technically two strips. And what I'm doing here is I'm matching up the ends of this fabric because I know it will match at the end. They'll be even at the end of this. And I do have to cut these strips into pieces. I haven't even looked to see what I got to cut them into. I'm just kind of going step by step what I need to do. And just hoping that it all works out real well. I think probably all I may get done tonight is sewing these strips. I may not even get to cutting them tonight. But I wanted to bring you guys along for the process as always. And again, this is the Aria and Ava Merry Christmas. It was in the 2024 Bella Rose Advent Box. That was their first ever Advent Box. So we are going to be doing that box again this year because I really loved it. It had some of the cutest stuff in it. And I have to say, one of the things in that box I use more than anything, I think this, I'm pretty certain this came in it. We got a clapper and we got this. We got socks. Such cute little things. We got this pattern. This was the main project, I believe, in it. And I would rather have things like this in a project box anyway. Have one big main. If I order a quilting subscription box, I want quilting things in it. I don't want embroidery. Now, if you want to do embroidery in it, have it be an embroidery subscription box. But, I don't know. I'm just not real crazy about all the different things in the boxes. Like if you have a project. Now, I like getting all the cutesy stuff. Of course, I love getting the cutesy stuff. Can't wait to pull those Christmas socks out, because when I pulled the box out, but we're going to do, I think, 3 like this. I think I'll do 3 like this. Oh, gracious, I got a kitty cat that wants in. He's going to act like I've abandoned him. Do y'all have an animal that does that? That gets just all beside themselves and act like you abandoned them? I hear you, sweetheart. I hear you. Which I can't get to the door right now anyway, because I've got my ironing station between me and the door, and he'll be okay. My husband's here. My husband will probably let him in the door in a second anyway. Okay, so we've got, let's see how many of these we do. So it says, continue with all the A and C's. Oh, no. So this one I also need to cut in half. I didn't think about that, guys. I have to cut this one in half because I will be using it, because we only technically are making 3. And that first one counts as 2 since it was by width of fabric and not width of fat quarter. And this one I had already cut down because I knew I only needed 3 of them, and that was 2. I'll get it together one day, you know. Some days are better than others. And I'm going to see if I can pull this above this, because I don't want, see if that'll work. Oh yeah, that'll work. I can pull that way above and it won't hurt anything. And I just get that on there. And y'all probably, if you watched yesterday's video, you saw where I pinned everything. Because I really am not a good line sewer. I'm hoping that I'm doing these in small enough increments that my fabric's not sliding around. But what are you guys doing? Are you working whips? Are you finishing things? Are you starting something new? I've got to start cutting my fabric for our Saturday sew-along. That starts not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I want to go on and have all of my fabrics cut for that. And then I'm also excited about the Yuletide sampler that we will be doing with Tammy, Alicia, and myself. That's going to be very exciting. I'm so excited about that. But of course, I have 2 fat quarter bundles and some yardage that I can use. for that. And I'm really excited to use those fabrics. Okay, so here is our next side. And it looks like I could probably do, yeah, it won't hurt it. Either way I do it, it's not going to hurt it. I just have to find the end of my fabric so I know where I'm sewing at. But my goal is to, everything that I have in my project boxes that have started. I have some things, now you can't see them right now, but when that quilt is not up there behind me, you can see some of my project boxes. Not all of those project boxes have been started. I know I have a quilt as you go in there that I want to do. I have a couple bag patterns that I want to do. So those are things that I will need to do. Well, I want to do them. And that's why I put them up there. I think I even purchased like everything to do a quilt as you go from Missouri Star Quilt Company. And have it all, but I mean, I think I have. And it's a bag, I believe. I have the zipper and everything for that bag. So I really want to get to that. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't hit that thread cutter button. So let me find my threads here since I didn't go all the way down. So now what I need to do, since these are ready, I will do the same thing with the narrow whites and the long greens. Now I only have, that said cut 2, so this is 2, and then it said cut 6. I don't know, cut 2. And then cut 6, which would have been 3 cuts. So that's what I did. But I'm not going to need 3. I'm only going to need 2. Maybe I need it for something else. Maybe that's why I did that. Maybe that's why it tells me to do that. I may not need it right now, but I may need it in a different step. I need to trust the process. Don't I? I need to trust the process and just go with what they're telling me to cut. And if I don't need it, that'll be okay. It's not like I don't have, feels like 10 yards of that background over there. I don't remember if they included that or I purchased that. I think they included it. But if you'd like to know if they included it, it will be in my unboxing playlist or my Advent playlist. I will create a new playlist for this year called 2025. It's probably going to be called Advent or Christmas Unboxings. We're just about done with these strips here, and once I get these done, all I have to do is the photo shows me trimming the ends off of it and then cutting on the vertical. You know, and how I'll do that is I will put a horizontal line on the seam to make sure that it is even and that I'm doing straight side to side strips instead of strips that go at a diagonal. here we go. We have this side done. Now I need to do the other side. Just trying to line these up now. Now, I know I'm not chatting a lot tonight, but I am highly focused right now, getting these done. I would love to be able to get this quilt done this month, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to try to put at least an hour of sewing on it every few days. Maybe put about 3 hours a week on it. So y'all may be seeing this more than once a week. I do have to admit that it is quite enjoyable sewing on this one because I really like the fabric choices that I made. And the fabrics they had in there, one of the fabrics is, I think, a Bunny Hill design fabric. It's the cream with the red birds on it. I think that's a Bunny Hill fabric. I think it's a, oh goodness, I can't think of it now. It's the line that I made my grandbaby's quilt out of, and I can't even think of it right now. Okay, so that one is done. So what I'm going to do now is press real quick. I'm checking the time, and it looks like I have plenty of time. I've got to see how I need to press all of these. I'm going to press towards the A strips, and then I'm going to press toward the B, which is the green. So I will be right back. Well, friends, I now have all of these pressed out. So, and I have one on my table. I'm trimming the ends of it off because I will have to make some strip units out of these. I'm just cutting them into smaller strips for the to make the block. So I will bring you guys along now. I can't show you my cutting. I wish I could, but this is a pattern that technically is paid for. I cannot give measurements out on this. So what I'm having to do, though, I'm having to make, I believe it is 42 of this unit here. And my strips, this is my strips right here. I just used the short one first just to go on and get, I probably should have used the long one first, but I didn't. I used the short one. So let me see if that last piece is, no, it's not going to be big enough. So I will put that over there. So I have an 18-inch strip, which is, you know, the fat quarter width. I've got that done. So now that's the white. Let's continue to do the white. And how I trim on the ends, I take my ruler and I lay it on one of the seams. And I make sure it is straight, that it is right on that line, and I trim. And the reason I do that, because the fabrics are never You know, they're a lot of times they're like all wonky, but once you trim it, it'll be perfect. And this way you can trim selvage off as well. And that's what I'm doing here mainly, is trim and selvage. It looks really good overall. I have no idea how many this is going to make. I have 13 out of an 18-inch strip. So that would be, there's going to be more in this one. That would be 39 and I need 42. So yeah, this is going to be right. This will be perfect. And I've got some raveling going on here. I'm just going to go on and pull that out of the way. My goodness, that's raveling everywhere. And y'all, I'm using my flying geese ruler. I don't use it for flying geese. I guess I might as well use it for trimming my strips, huh? But this is going to make the inside of that block at the bottom of the Christmas tree. So we're going to be getting that done hopefully the next time I sit down to sew. Hopefully I'll be putting that block together, because I will need to go on and press all of my 4 patches. I have a few of them pressed, but not all of them. So I'll need to finish pressing those. There's a lot of pressing on this quilt. A lot of it. And I know a lot of people say, well, there's a lot of pressing on most quilts. Well, if you use bigger blocks, you may not have to press as much. But I'm having to press every single thing I sew pretty frequently. Because think about it. I had 82, I think 82 of the four patches. And so think about pressing 82 of those. And a lot of these are small pieces. Lots of pressing. Lots and lots of it. But I do not mind that at all. Because all the pressing makes you have a sharp, crisp looking quilt. So I don't mind that at all. I think I'm trying to cut too fast and I'm not getting all the way through the fabric. I'm not pressing hard enough there. And I am going to, let me get that thread out of my way so it quits raveling. I am going to count out my pieces to have exactly what I need laid out. Because if I have more than what I need, sometimes it seems like I forget. And it just kind of makes me panic until I realize, hey, you had extra. So guys, we were talking about how pretty the weather is too. I've been watching that, and it looks like there's some places up north. I don't know if it's night or day, but they're going to maybe it's their low. It's going to be down in the 40s. Oh, yeah, I'm so ready for sweater weather. Not that I'll wear a sweater. I don't know. I may wear a sweater. I did buy me a sweater for this winter. It just seems like the past couple winters I've really gotten to where I like wearing sweaters, because before y'all, menopause, that's all I have to say, I'm sure, for most of you. But I have not been able to wear a sweater in years until I'm going to say like past 2-3 years. I've been wearing sweaters and I'm loving it. So now I'm thinking I can get some cute skirts to wear with my sweaters. And some cute little boots. And you know, in the wintertime, you can always throw leggings on under there. That's why I like skirts, because you can layer in the wintertime and not be too hot. Summertime, you can't layer a skirt, but wintertime, I don't want to layer pants. That's just, and pants are really too cold for me. If I put blue jeans on in the wintertime, I'm going to freeze. And I'm having a feeling that we're going to have a very cold winter this year. Probably to rival 2021 when, you know, February and March that we had. Because we had, well, the reason I remember that year is because that year we had snow and ice for 13 days straight, working 12-hour shifts. And several people in our office caught the, you know, caught the plague, pretty much. The pandemic hit our office really hard that year, because that's the year that I got really, really sick. Now, I'm hoping we don't have anything like that happen again this year. But I think we are, you know, I know that's going around here again. But they're saying around here, my niece works as an ER nurse, and she said that most people are getting that with the rotavirus at the same time, and they're ending up in the hospital from dehydration. So that, I can't imagine, that has to be horrible. I just have a feeling this is going to be a very cold winter, and I'm going to be a very happy person. I've already got a whole stack of firewood waiting. Oh, I love it. I love it. And now that I have my grandbabies are going to be 2, that is going to be perfect. We can have a fire going in the fireplace, and my grandbabies can come and stay, and we can cuddle on the couch under the blanket in our PJs with a fire going and some hot chocolate. Well, chocolate milk for them, hot chocolate for me. I can remember one of my great nephews, he always wanted chocolate. He couldn't say the ch, his was chocolate. He wanted chocolate milk. And then they found out he was lactose intolerant. But I'm hoping I don't need this piece down here, because it's raveled a good bit. Let me count these real quick to make sure I have the number I need. Okay, I had 42 plus some on these. So these pieces that I have left here, I'm going to put in my scrap box so I can use them on another quilt. Okay, so now I'm on my green and white strip. So I need to trim the end off here. And I think I have to do 21 of this one. I think that's what it said. Yeah, I need 21. I'm not going to worry about trimming that end off, because this is the end I'm going to be cutting on. I think it says I'll do about 13 from each strip set, which this is 2. That would give us 26. And that would be about right, because I had 13 on the other one. And after we get all of these cut, then we actually start assembling. And if I have enough time, I will at least assemble one so you can see what block I am making with these strip sets. Boy, this would be real easy if that Stripology had that a measurement that I need. But it doesn't have the measurement that I need. So I have to measure it out by hand. Yeah, I love that Stripology. If you're wanting to know what Stripology is, down in the description of this video, there is a link of the Stripology ruler that I use. I have the large, and I'll show you what it looks like. I keep it right here under my table. But that's what it looks like. It's upside down right now. But it's got the, see where you can, it's got the holes there where you can cut your fabric through that. It cuts on whole and half-inch increments. But it's got that slot where you can slide your rotary cutter in there and just cut. And if I have fabric that I'm having to cut on a whole or half-inch increment, you can bet that I'm probably using my Stripology ruler. Just because it's that much easier to do. I mean, and you can get it done in like no time. I love when I'm doing 2.5-inch squares and I can just throw it on there and get them done, zip them out. Cut my 2.5-inch strips and then I turn it over and then do it 2.5-inch squares. Now I do have an AccuQuilt as well. That actually sits right here beside me, and I will be pulling it out once August is over and I've done all the whips I can do, and I've got all the fabrics out of the bins of the projects. Like I still have the bin back here for this quilt that has leftover fabrics. If they're not full fat quarters, they're going to go on my AccuQuilt, and I will cut them down into like charm squares, maybe a 10-inch square. I think I have like a 2.5 and maybe a 3-inch. I'm not real sure which all ones I have, but I will work on cutting down my scraps into usable charm squares. Now, I know I have some fabric that I've got a lot of fabric of, but I know I want to cut it down into charm squares. I could easily get a lot of 10-inch squares out of it, but I want to use this fabric kind of like a background fabric that I have a lot of. I just saw it over here out of the corner of my eye, so that's why I was thinking about that. But I'm almost done cutting these strip sets out. And technically, I have cut 5 out. Yeah, technically I've cut 5 out because each long strip was 2 fat quarter lengths. So I need to count and see how many more of these I need. Let me do that real quick to see how many more of these I need, because I shouldn't cut all of them if I don't need them. Okay, I have 21 plus some. So I have this plus this. So this is going to go over here. I'm just going to set that up there. I'm going to put my tray back on my sewing table, back on my machine here. And we're going to make at least 1 square so you can see what it looks like. For 1 square, we take 2 of our white centered and 1 of our green centered. We are going to put that green center one right in the middle of the 2 white center ones. I'm nesting that seam and pinning that seam up. And then I will nest the bottom seam as well. And if you're new to sewing or quilting and you're not familiar with what nesting a seam is, it's where you have two seams that come together, and when you put them, if they're pressed opposite directions, let me say that. If the two pieces of fabric are pressed opposite directions, when you put them together, they fit like a puzzle piece. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this block, well, it's not a block yet. I do need to put the other side on there. But so far, this is what it looks like. Now our green is our center piece, so I need to take my other piece and put on the other side of that, making sure your sides are even and your seams are nested. Now if you want to do this, well, most people aren't doing this because this came in the advent box, so most people don't have it. But if you ever have a block like this, you may want to go on and chain stitch all of the ones, you know, the first two rows, two pieces together. And then once you're done with that, press them out, because that will make it easier to, first off, to press them, and secondly, to sew them together. So I'm going to press this so you can see what this block looks like. Guys, I cut that wrong. I was wondering why that looked so funny. I'm going to have to do that one over, but you get the idea. That one is supposed to be a square in the center. I cut it the same size as I did these, and I was supposed to cut it bigger. So I'll have to redo these, and I'll throw all of these in my bin for the scraps, and I'll get to do it again. So guys, that's going to be it for tonight, because it's obvious I'm getting tired. I wasn't paying attention to my pattern, and that's just awful, because now I need to take these two. I have two others of these that I can pull out of my scrap box, but it'll be okay. So guys, thank you for joining me. Even though it seems like I mess up every time, I was not paying attention. I'm tired. It's late. It's after 9 o'clock. So feel free to leave a comment if you want. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.